friends. Good morning. Rise and shine. It is 8:03. It may be a few minutes late, but hey, here we are. And it's a Monday morning. This is Coffee Talk. I'm meteorologist Eric Burris. Rise and shine, my friends. We are here and we are chatting about a world of changes. If you haven't stepped out the door just yet, be aware. It's chilly outside, 50 degrees in Orlando. It's 44 in Leesburg. We are waking up to 42 degrees in in Ocala, and about 44 in Daytona Beach. So temperatures are chilly. And as a matter of fact, just to put this into perspective, they are running about 10 to 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday. Yeah, look at that. That's a note. What I think is so funny though is that these temperatures, and I'm going to let everybody just throw in their commentary. All right, everybody get it out real fast. Everybody get it out. And I've said this all morning long, so if you've been watching the news, this is not going to be a surprise. But here's the best part, okay? These temperatures are really where we should be this time of year, and that's what I think is just so funny. Okay, let me prove it to you. Okay, here's the 7-day forecast. Normal high is 71, normal low is 49. It's 52 in Orlando right now, and we're forecasting 69 for a high temperature. So even though this is like a shock to the system, yeah, this is really where we should be this time of year. So love that. Looking ahead on our 7-day forecast, 70 for tomorrow, okay? 67 for our Wednesday. And Thursday starts a temperature dip. Wednesday, Thursday are going to be really interesting weather days because we've got a storm system moving through. So let's really dial this in. All right. So here we are, cool air pouring down the peninsula, looking good. Then we start to look ahead to a more active pattern. This is going to be Wednesday into Thursday. Area of low pressure spinning across the Carolinas. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Obviously, the front is going to be through our area. And as it's moving through our area, it's kicking out the warm air that's trying to build in and it's throwing in cold air. And that's already interesting. But to the north, you see where those greens shift into blues? Models are going in and in and in on this idea that it's going to snow up north. What? Yeah, yeah. Some snow in the Carolinas. So, yeah, that's interesting. But of course, the other piece of this is we're going to have a front and we're going to have the rain and we're going to have all the clouds and the moisture and all that stuff. Yeah. And then it's going to clear on out. And then what it does is once that front pushes out all this moisture, oh my goodness, is it going to be cold? Just to put it into perspective, okay? So this morning temperatures are in the lower 50s. We'll start to climb again, and by Wednesday morning, we'll be at 59 degrees for a low temperature. And then we drop to 34 for a low temperature. That is a 25-degree drop in temperatures. Yeesh. Yeesh McGeesh. Yukon says it's not that unusual to snow in the Carolina mountains. They haven't seen much snow here recently. So just looking at recent weather, it's a little unusual. I see what you're saying, but also they haven't seen it. So there's that. But this is all because we've already pushed the warm air out of our area in the upper level pattern. So that's great. Okay. But what happens, what's kind of fun is watch that jet stream Wednesday, Thursday, really dipping south, really pushing that colder air our direction. So when we talk about temperatures, I just want to start by looking at the newest forecast data. Okay? Oliver says, let the hype begin. It's going to be so cold and snow so much that icebergs are going to form in the Gulf. No, no. But they haven't seen, it hasn't snowed a ton up north. The snowpack across the country is very light. There hasn't been much snow. So this is a particularly powerful low. It's winter. I get it. It's just we haven't seen it much this winter. This is also driving a very significant chill our direction. Okay. Um, Friday morning, I'm probably going to, let me just look, let me pull up the model data here off screen. My mouse is still failing and I have not gotten it swapped out yet. Yeah, so I still gonna go 34 on Friday morning in Orlando. But man, if some of that indication isn't even colder, 34 in Orlando, 31 in Leesburg, 29 in the Villages, 27 in Ocala. These are actual air temperatures. This is not a wind chill. This is not a feels like temperature. These are our actual temperatures. 33 in Daytona Beach, 37 in Titusville. Yeah. Now, I will say that it's going to be very, very chilly. Notice the temperatures forecast on the left, records on the right. We are not to record territory, but I did write in the banner, it is going to be the coldest we think in years. And here's what I mean by that. We made it to 36 in Orlando back on November 11th, and that was the coldest we'd seen in 2 years. But with this 34 in the forecast, that puts this the coldest air in 4 years since January 31st, 2022. That's wild. That's wild. That's wild to me. We've had very mild winters these last few years, truth be told. But still, that's wild. That's wildly mild. Wildly mild. Love that. Love that for us. So anyway, we've got that. So 34 in Orlando. Again, I showed you the 20s north, but let's look at the feels like temperatures, okay? When you factor in winds gusting, I'm probably going to have to put in impact weather for Friday. I haven't done it yet, but that's probably going to have to happen. Just being honest with you. 20. It will feel like 20 degrees. 20 degrees in Ocala. Waking up feeling like 25 in Wildwood, 29 in Orlando. Yeah, I mean that's the definition of impact weather, I would say. So yeah, probably going to need to make that change. That's fine. We can do that. We can do that. That's not a problem. But yeah, feels like 29 in Orlando, 27 in Sanford, and 28 in New Smyrna Beach. So socks and Crocs. Yeah. Tanya says 34 degrees. I predict I lost your comment. I predict the husband will be missing some socks in the near future. Let's see here. Chris says you've said that we've had mild winters, so the 34 is more a normal winter weather temperature to see. Well, case in point, when I started in the business, Central Florida on average saw at least one freeze a year. We haven't had a single freeze for years. So, to a certain point, yes, Chris. Joanne says, I can't put any more clothes on. Sweatpants, sweatshirt, and two jackets. Maybe it's time to turn the heat on. Just maybe. Just maybe. Hoodies, sweatpants, and Uggs. Uggs. So funny. Where your emotion is its name. Jeannie Rowan says it doesn't last. No, this is one morning, and when we look to the 7-day forecast, you notice that by the afternoon, we get to 57. Now, I will also say that that 57 degrees will be the coolest afternoon temperature in Orlando in a year. So, yeah, but no, it doesn't last because getting into the weekend, we're back into the mid 60s for Saturday and for Sunday. So, yeah. Tiffany says double layer Friday. It's true. It's true. Yep. I'll be flying up to Panama City on Friday. I don't even know what do the winds look like. Friday. Yeah, not too bad. Sunny high 58, northwest wind around 5. So I'll have a headwind. I'll have a headwind going up and a tailwind coming back. Okay, I can deal with that. Catherine complained all summer about the heat, so I'm enjoying this cool weather. Just want to see the sun every day. Well, we're not going to have a ton of sunshine today, but yes. But yes. Nancy says we're all going to be just fine. Right. We're going to be fine. Michael says no beach day. I mean, you can still go walk the beach, even if it's chilly. You're allowed to do that. It's just, you got to bundle up. Yukon, do you have an ice scraper for Flying Friday? No, we're not going to fly into any clouds and pick up any icing. At least that's the goal. Meg says maybe you can get Matt Devitt on Coffee Talk sometime now that he's free. Yeah, we'll have to grab a Coffee Talk drive-through with Matt Devitt. For those that don't know, Matt Devitt was the chief meteorologist at a television station in Southwest Florida, and for reasons that certainly will probably never become public, he was let go. So that's the television works that way so often. So anyway, we'll maybe Matt will come. I'll have to shoot a text and see. We're gonna let the dust settle on Matt's um, job situation a little bit, and then we can move on. But it would be nice to check in with him, see how he's doing, and yeah, yeah. Uh, Emphasis on the plus, Tim. Daisy and Gary, good morning to you guys. Tanya says, my sister lives in Wisconsin. She's 60 and still does the polar dip in Lake Michigan. Her hot flashing clearly worse than mine. Oh, wow. Yukon's asking, where is Sonica going? She's still here. She's doing, I believe, the noon and the 4 now, I think. Christopher is asking where Sonica. So I believe noon and 4 is what she's doing. Yeah, Chris, television sometimes is not the best business in the world. Caesar says you do a great job in the best possible way. I like your dedication. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Jeannie Rowan says, oh no, polar plunge. Yeah, no, no, no. Yep. Betty says, I loved Matt working on blocking all the wink posts. He was great for my area, although we could not get the station. No station actually covers the Venice area. I believe you're in the Southwest Florida market, Betty, so I would think that you are Gulf Coast News DMA is what it's called. I believe so. I'm 99% sure. 99.5% sure. Let me see where the rundown is so I don't just enter it off here and completely lose track. Tiffany's asking if I booked the ENT. I didn't. Don't judge me. Not yet. I'll get there. All right, 3-shot at the desk. Okay, we're going to go do a 3-shot at the desk. Jan says, cruising out of Miami to the Bahamas. Will it rain today? There's a few showers off the shoreline, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Joe says they let him go like a football coach. The difference is between us, weather people, and football coaches. A, announcements are usually made for football coaches, and B, they get massive golden parachutes. We do not.
From the IFS no earlier this Wednesday than 5 p.m. Now, at this point, NASA administrators haven't told us which crew member is affected, and they're remaining tight-lipped about the specifics of the medical issue. Crew 11's set to splash down off the coast of California on Thursday.
And in man's mission to return to the moon, NASA says a Space Launch System rocket supporting Artemis 2 is going to roll out as early as Saturday. Once the rocket and spacecraft have been moved, crews will get to work prepping the launch pad. At the end of the month, NASA said they'll do a pre-launch test called a wet dress rehearsal. If that rehearsal goes well, NASA will start a flight readiness review. The Artemis 2 launch window could then open as early as Friday, February 6th.
And SpaceX is planning to launch another batch of Starlink satellites into orbit. A Falcon 9 carrying 29 of the satellites is set to lift off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. Then we've got another Starlink mission scheduled for Wednesday with a 4-hour launch window out at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station that opens at 1:01 in the afternoon.
Can I just pause for a second?
Please.
Like,
You're excited about Artemis.
I am so excited about Artemis. First time.
Forget the Starlink stuff.
I mean, no, Falcon 9's amazing, but like first time in my lifetime,
Yeah.
I'm a nerd. I've spent my life studying science, and it's the first time that I get to watch 4 souls, brave souls, doing the moon thing.
Yeah.
How amazing. We all get to witness this.
I mean, the last time something even close happened, they had to like reenact it.
Well,
for TV.
yeah.
Have this,
Well,
systems in
if you ask my brother, we never landed on the moon, but that's a whole other thing. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Although he would egg it on, but I digress. But no, it's opening up an entirely new generation to this, and oh my gosh, so excited.
It really
Anyway,
is, yeah.
let's talk about this.
stuff in plan for
Oh,
us
do
too.
we ever?
Yeah.
I'm running down to the Kennedy Space Center this week, as a matter of fact. Okay, anyway,
Jacket doing that.
I'm gonna need the jackets and the boots with the fur All right, let's talk. Of course. It's CW18. I'm off the rails, okay? All right, let's talk about the forecast because yes, it is getting chilly. Listen, by late this week, not only do we get colder than this morning, but we're going to be to the coldest level we have seen in years. Temperatures to wake up in the 20s and the 30s. So look at the 7-day forecast. All right, just to put it into perspective, we're waking up to readings in the lower 50s this morning in the metro, daytime high of 69. That's actually about where we should be this time of year. Wednesday, Thursday, rain arrives. That's going to be our next kind of cold front storm system. But Friday, oh my goodness. Is it going to get cold? First, let's time out the rain, okay? Here's Tuesday. This is 10 o'clock at night. A few sprinkles showing up. Then we get into Wednesday morning. We'll be tracking some rain for your morning commute. And of course, have you covered. Megan Mackey will handle the roads. I'll handle the radar and futurecast. Through the day, we kind of break it apart and then get that next piece of energy coming in late Wednesday into Thursday. For now, Thursday morning looks pretty wet, but we'll scoot this out during late morning, early afternoon and push in this, the coldest air in years. And that's not an exaggeration. 29 in the Villages. You've been down to about 28 in Ocala this year. We'll do 27, I think, Friday morning. 34 in Palm Coast, 34 degrees in New Smyrna Beach, 33 in Wedgefield, and 34 in Orlando. That 34 will be the coldest temperature since the end of January in 2022. So 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 4 years. It's been 4 years since we've been that cold. That said, though, we're not getting to records. The records were set back in the 70s, 80s, or in Orlando's case, 1927. But while we're not going to get to the 20s, the feels like temperatures will feel like that. We could even get into the teens for feels like temperatures up in Marion County. So yeah, you want the jackets handy. My friends, it's going to be chilly, but we're going to have to navigate a little bit of rain come Wednesday and Thursday. Megan, I think we're going to be a little busy those days. Okay. Joanne says, I'm a New Englander. I should love this weather. But there's a reason you're in Florida. So there it is. I did not try Navage day 2. Yesterday was with the new morning show today. I had to get a haircut yesterday. And so it was a lot. Yeah, a lot going on. Isn't there some sort of severance involved in TV news since a lot of times there is a year no compete? Uh, every company is going to be different, but I will say if they don't renew your contract, that's just what it is. So it's different, right? It's just different, you know? Let's see here. Drink. Frank got a shout out. He does sound better on the. I love like reading back these comments as you guys are just sitting here teasing me. I know I was I I wasn't calling Frankie out. My brother Jason is the one. He he will jokingly refer to us having never gone. Always. He'll jokingly. So funny. I love it. Yeah, Jason will jokingly do it just to feisty people up. Let's see here. We will know you are off the rails. We're talking about Navage on CW18. No, I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to get to talk about Navage on CW18. There is the line. You know, it's like we always talk about, is there a line that I won't cross? That's the line I won't cross. Talking about Navage on CW18. Oh, man. I thought you looked like a brand new haircut. Yeah, I needed it. Nikki says, kiddo may be going to watch the Artemis rollout. His girlfriend's dad works for NASA, and they apparently allow families to come out for it. Do they? So I'm getting a permanent badge for the year. So I'm going to go out there this week, and then honestly, like if I can, I may go out for the rollout. I don't know if we're allowed to, or if I can get con the managers into letting me cover it. I'm going to try. Get it, Tim. Treat yourself. Ah. Oh, that's funny. Yukon says, how can you all give him ENT issues when yesterday was Sunday and doctors aren't open? See? See? You need the video of the next nose vacuum attempt. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Matt says, you don't need a badge, just fly over and see it. You can fly over and see it once. That's it. Chris says, a trip to the moon will definitely bring back memories of watching the moon landing on TV. See, not to like tease, because, but like I wasn't alive for that. So for me being a space nerd, like I've studied that. This is going to be the opportunity for me to finally get to see something like this. And what's even wilder is like I had the chance to meet the Artemis 2 astronauts at the Artemis 2 crew reveal at the Johnson Space Center a couple of years ago. So I've met these. And what's even crazier is like Victor and I have had just conversations. Like he and I was at Artemis 1, we were just shooting the breeze together. And then when they picked him, I was like, oh my God, I have talked to him for like a half an hour. So I digress. Evelyn, such a baby, you weren't even alive. Pretty sure, Evelyn, I'm your daughter's age. I'm looking forward to all the footage of the moon in 4K. Right, Matt? Like, what? Just wild. Just a wild. All latecomers should be in detention by now. Becky says, I saw the Apollo 17 launch. See, I was never fortunate enough to see a Saturn V. I know I was in the marching nights with Mary Evelyn. I was just teasing you. But, you know, I never saw the Saturn V launch. I was there for Artemis 1, and I will be there for Artemis 2. What would need to happen for everyone to 100% believe a moon landing happened? Oh, it happened. It happened. I'm always just an instigator of teasing, but there's no question. Yeah. George, yeah, space race ended in the 70s. There's always room for another space race. And, you know, listen, gee, Rowan, now people will say AI. Yeah, look, you know, it's kind of like in weather, if I'm honest. You can't get to everybody. You know what I mean? And that's okay. It just is what it is. Matt says Saturn V would be a bucket list item if I had a time machine. Yeah, I would agree with that. If I had a time machine, I would definitely do that. Tom is asking, are we still talking about NASA or nasal? That's funny. They overlap a little bit, right? Oliver says, would have loved to see a Saturn V go up. Artemis is going to be awesome, even from a distance. Listen, Oliver, I've covered many Falcon 9s. Artemis was next level. Special. Absolutely special. Well, I remember the controversy about Star Trek The Next Generation calling it fake Trek. Don't you call The Next Generation fake Trek. Don't you do it. I won't allow it. We left reflectors on the moon and can hit them with lasers and measure distance. We were there for sure. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Oliver, let me know if you need a ride or die to watch it. Hey man, you know I'd be good. You know I'd be good with it. All right, let me get this Today Show hit set up. Okay, Sanford. We're gonna do Sanford. When does Artemis go up? So it's not confirmed the date yet, but it's going to be, I believe, the windows open up in February. It's not fake Trek. No, Yukon says The Next Generation is my favorite. I was 10. It's the one I grew up with too, so I'm just gonna say it's probably my fake one as well, or my favorite. My favorite as well. Leave 10 seconds. Thank you, Nat. Yeah, February sometime. There's a bunch of windows open. All right, stand by. And that's on top of the cool down we're enjoying this morning. Megan, good morning to you. Little bit of breeze in the palm trees here in Sanford, Lake Monroe, our tower cam there. Waking up to temperatures in the 40s and 50s. We are climbing only into the 60s for most of us. A few neighborhoods getting to 70. But yeah, we have a couple of storm systems coming in Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, we're going to wake up to 34 in Orlando with feels like temperatures in some spots in the teens. So get ready. Coldest air in years moving our way. Dan says Falcon 9 is a weak candle compared to the Saturn V. It's all dependent. Christopher says, I'm looking forward to building my Enterprise D Lego set with grandson while we watch them.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt your coffee.
You're going to interrupt the coffee talk.
Is that the wide twill flannel olive gray?
I'd have to look.
You got to tell me what it is, because I was.
You like the suit?
I've got 4 coming, but I was going to order a couple more that are like the end of the year.
Yeah.
They're like this.
They
is
have a
a
deal?
$1,200 suit for $500. Yeah. Yeah, and one of the fabrics we saw, because I got measured in New York.
Yeah.
And it was like,
To be continued. We're talking about custom suits because Jason does the same that, yeah, we all buy from the same place. All right, you guys have got me talking. Now we've got to show the vehicle assembly building for this weather hit. All right. Nerding, yes. Nerding. I grew up with Beam Me Up, Scotty. I mean, I watched the original series too, but I watched The Next Generation. All right, stand by. You're beautiful, baby. You're beautiful. You know it. Sweet baby. Baby. Oh. You know, so I'm already on my second. And so the first one was hot but we've moved over to iced coffee at this point. But you know what? What's so funny is like this is a chillier start, but this is where we should be this time of year. Waking up to a cool morning and temperatures climb into the upper 60s to nearly 70 degrees. We're going to keep a bunch of clouds around today. So look at our vehicle assembly building tower cam shot. First off, I mean, like stunning sunrise, but you can definitely see the clouds. That's the way it's going to be all day long. And man, just think, next couple of weeks, we're gonna have a moon rocket come out of this building. When was the last time that happened? That is actually taking people to the moon because it happened a couple of years ago. Anyway, all right, temperatures out the door, 60 in Titusville. It's 51 degrees right now in Orlando, 44 in Leesburg, 42 in Ocala. We're running 10 to 20 degrees cooler than just this time yesterday. And while we climb into the 60s and even lower 70s, it's about to get wet and then cold. We've got some big changes on the way, an active weather pattern for this week. And I'll help guide you day by day in just a couple of minutes. But you know who's going to help guide us this morning? Megan Mackey. Good morning to you. All right. Nerding out on the space launches is rocket scientist level. Well, it's just wannabe rocket scientist level nerding, Chris. I will never hide the fact that I'm a meteorologist. I know I am not a rocket scientist, though. Evelyn, suits wear. We all get our suits at Indochino. We've talked about this plenty on Coffee Talk, but like all Indochino. And I pay full price for them. We all do. But when there's a sale, which apparently there's a sale, Jason's getting some suits. So I may need to pop in and get some suits too, but I digress. Ah, Chief O'Brien, yes. I looked for new shoes yesterday. Let's see here. Summer 1990 in The Next Generation terms was the longest one of my life. Mr. Warfire. Gosh, so good. I have not seen, Christopher, I have not seen Strange New Worlds yet. I definitely need to. I definitely need to. Jason, so real quick, because I've shown them my liners. Are you wearing an Indochino?
I'm not right now.
Oh,
yeah.
they were going to want to see your liner.
This was boring. But I did like one that's intergalactic. This is boring.
This
one
is
just matches.
skulls.
They didn't have that.
Oh, wait, baby. Just you wait.
Dia de los Muertos, right there.
I just
Spooky season. I would have done that.
I go the goofiest, ugliest liners is what I go for.
Well, I tried two of the ones that are coming are like paintings on the inside. So
I've
they're
got
all,
a
like,
Van Gogh one. I've got
That's
that.
very cool. And then one of them is intergalactic.
Yeah.
That was my 13-year-old daughter picked that one out, and it's like pinks and blues and stars.
Oh, yeah.
Like it looks amazing.
I feel like I probably have that in one of
Yeah,
my suits
yeah.
too.
I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. That seems pretty wild.
I'll go back and look and see what this one is.
Yeah, I did pretty boring on my first few.
That's okay.
Mendocino. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, they're like the dots.
Oh, yeah. I did that too. And then as I've bought more, I'm like, no, we're gonna go ugly. Yeah. It's fine. It's ugly. And it's fun. If you're gonna buy a custom suit, it's like the Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Like the captain of the house, you know, the pink liner, you know what I'm talking about? You know? No, not the puffy shirt. Oh goodness. See this coffee talk. You know what the thing is I feel like the more that we do these in the quiet season, the more it's just gonna be off the rails. The later in the morning it goes. Like I'm gonna do the weather and then we're gonna go off the rails. All right, let me get caught up on all these comments, you guys. Oh, the skulls liner, love it. Let's see here. Did you say a launch is going to the moon from Orlando? Not from Orlando, from the Kennedy Space Center. Let's see here. The scene in October Sky about Sputnik could have, yeah. October Sky is a wonderful movie. And you know what's neat is seeing him in real him, Homer Hickam, tweeting and doing all of this. That's what's amazing. I wish it was cold all the time. Yukon says, I would wear suits. I sweat too much to wear regular clothes. Tara says, yes, off the rails today. Bring it back on track. Okay, we're going to come back on track. All right, so do we have any questions? You guys good? Do you have any questions? Tomorrow we should have a better opportunity to look at the Wednesday, Thursday rain event on Futurecast. It's just a little too far out for us to see it on our high resolution mesoscale models. So we're going to get there. We're not there yet. Victoria says, I really want to take my son to see snow. I keep an eye on that potential snowfall in the Carolinas. Yeah. Tanya, George Costanza, tell your brother not to whistle. Well, I was thinking it was the episode with Elaine's dad where he's wearing the jacket with the pink liner and what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Wearing that, you know? Anyway, all right. Anything else? You guys have any other questions, comments, concerns? I got nothing. I'm just, Bruce, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Santa Bruce. Oh, it makes me sad that you had to ask me to wish you a happy birthday. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, kind of a person of mine. Oh, well. Man, oh, man. All right. Rain still coming Wednesday or has it pushed to Thursday? You said too far out to know. So it looks like at the moment, Thursday looks like rain. Wednesday, the models are not perfectly dialed in yet. That's a tough one. We're going to figure it out together. We have to dial it in. Thursday, the confidence is higher on rain, hence the 60%. I still think it's going to rain on Wednesday. I just think that the models are struggling with the patterns. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Sonia Blade says it's my birthday as well. Happy birthday! You sure it told me before. Ugh. Sorry. Happy birthday, guys. It's a Monday. All right. That's all I got. Listen, pay attention, boy, when we are yelling at you, Tanya says. I know. All right. Sorry. Listen, thank you guys for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Thank you so much. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will see you on the air through 10 a.m. on CW18, and then I'm back for Wesh 2 News at noon because vacations. So good times. All right. Thank you all so much. I will see you guys later on TV. Take care. Thanks for spending the morning with me. You made my day great. I will